Hey everybody, this is Melina from scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. If you are not a subscriber here, please do so. I encourage you to. I do all kinds of paper crafting. I do lots of scrap busting, so if you've got scrap paper and cardstock, I am the place to be because I love to use up all my scraps that are in my stash. So I do a challenge once a week here on my channel, and it's called M's Scrap Busters. And I would love for you to be a subscriber and click that little bell so that you can get a notification every time I post a new video. But it's everything paper crafting. I do all kinds of stuff all week, and 3 to 4, sometimes 5 videos a week. So I got you covered. If you are not following me over on Instagram, Me Crafty Scrapper. On Instagram, I show lots of still shots of the projects that I make here on my videos on YouTube. So I would love to have you as a follower on Instagram also. Today we are making something that came to my mind while I was scrolling Pinterest one day. And I made things like this years ago, and I just thought of it again when I saw some picture on Pinterest, and it wasn't exactly like this, but it reminded me of something else. Anybody remember starburst cards? When making cards was the thing, everybody that paper crafted made cards, and they came up with this starburst or sunburst technique. And I thought, why can we not use our scraps to make these? We can. And it does not matter what you put on them, what colors you put on them. It can be just a swash of all kinds of colors and can look like a crazy quilt if you want it to. But look at those starburst of different color scraps that I put on those two, and that is from the starburst coming from one corner, and I'll show that how to do that. But I want to also do one where the starburst is coming from the middle, and we do some kind of little die cut or something in the middle of the journal card. But these can be just journal cards that you put in pockets into journals. Flip ups, if you want to, you can flip them up with washi tape and have journaling space on the back, and it can be an accent on your page. You can paper clip them to your pages. There's all kinds of things that you can do with these cards. You can actually attach them to the page in your journal and just use them as a decoration, or just do like 2.5 sides, glue down 2.5 sides and make them a tuck in your page. So all kinds of ways you can use these little accents that we're going to be making today. So whatever scrap paper that you have, the longer the better, of course, because if you're going to make these are square. Now I'm going to make some that are not just square on both sides. I'm going to make some rectangle ones too, but the longer the better of the scrap strip that you have. But I did get this smaller strip here so that I could, or piece here, so I could show you, you don't just have to have strips of cardstock that's in your scrap pile to make these. You can make them, this is a square piece in my scrap pile. So all you're going to do, I'm going to turn this so that you can see, hopefully, there we go. Okay, you're going to put one of the points of your scrap on one side, and then you're going to angle it out, and you're going to make a piece that is pointy on one end and not so pointy on the other end. That's all we're doing. And then you can go ahead and use this again, make the point end on this end and slide it the other way. And so see, you can get all kinds of sunbursts, rays out of even square paper. And it doesn't matter if you have this, you can manipulate that on your base good enough that you'll never see that. So even if you don't have a perfectly straight edge, it doesn't matter. So that one is got nice little triangle straight edges. And this one that I'm about to cut has got a straight edge and a straight edge, but then here is not. But you can manipulate that how you need to on your base. So let's finish this one up. As you can see, I have quite a few scraps to be able to show y'all, so I'm not going to need too much more. And I have made mine mostly from neutral colored scraps. You can do whatever you would like, whatever you want in your journal. If you are one that likes some brighter colors in your journal, use some of your brighter scraps that you have. Okay, and then if you have a piece that does not have a direct, like a really sharp point on one end, still save it. You can manipulate it to work. I promise you can do it. All right, so I'm going to put my trimmer away, and I want to do one where the starburst is coming toward the middle instead of to the side. So on these, what I did was I started on one end. So, you know, you would need one longer piece for that middle, because that's the longest piece you're going to need. And this is how I did these. So the thicker the piece is down at the bottom, the better. And then you just kind of put it right at the middle, and that's how you would start it. And you would just line them up beside each other. So same way, skinny one way, the fat end the other way, and you just line it up like this, and you would glue them down. I'm going to get a longer piece just so I can show y'all. Okay, see, this one doesn't have a sharp end, but you can still make that work like that. And then this piece, since it's shorter, it would need to go where your shorter ones would be. So that's how you do that, and just go out that way and go out that way, glue it all down, and that's how you get the sunburst from one corner. So I've got these two that I did just from the edge there. So I started it in one corner and went down with my sun rays. This one I want to do a little bit differently. I want to find the middle on this one. Let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 is going to be middle, so our middle is about there. And I want to start with my music one right here. Now, if you are wanting to ink all of your pieces, go for it. I didn't with these. What I did was I just put them on, glued them on. Then I went back and dirtied it up with my mini blending tool and actually added on some white gesso in places, and then splattered this one with some picked raspberry, and that gave me my distressed look on that one. So same as this one, I didn't use gesso on this one, but I inked it up and kind of dirtied it up, and then I used some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink and splattered on that one. Okay, so with this one, this is another square piece. I'll make one that's not completely square in a minute. With this one, I want to make sure that all of my points kind of cover up that middle, because I want to add a strip of something down here and have just a different kind of starburst. So what I'm going to do is come just a little bit below my mid mark that I put right there, and then I'm going to put liquid glue all over, just so that it catches everything. And you're not overlapping when you do this, so you don't have to worry about adding more glue unless you just feel something is not taking, it's not on there well. Okay, and all of this will be covered up, so no worries. We'll be cutting off the excess here. I'm going to butt these up right up against each other. This one I left a little bit of space so you can see the craft cardstock behind it. That one I just butted them all up together. And then this one, I need to trim that one up a little bit. And I'm just going to butt it right up against it. Like I said, all of this at the bottom is going to be covered up, so no worries. Keep going. Then maybe that piece, I like that. That blue on there, that's just some food color dyed paper that's got a little bit of stamping on it. And maybe this blue piece here. And maybe that piece there. See how easy that comes together? Need to pull it up some so y'all be more in frame, huh? And then maybe this little blue piece here to go there. And then finish up this side. Let's get, that's a little too wild, ain't it? But that other side's not. I like the other side of it. So trim this off here. We don't want too much bulk down here for what we're going to add at the bottom. And then let's get one that's got a little more color. Here we go. There. And then I think, yep, I'll cover up most of that there, so no worries with that. I'm going to get my sticky scissors and just come along here and trim off excess, because I'm not going to need all of this, and it'll just keep it from being too bulky at the bottom. Okay. Then these little bitty ones can be used on an edge of a card somewhere. Alright, I'm going to get my glue back and just make sure that all of my little tails down here are glued down good before I add another piece here at the bottom. This one's different. These other ones, little bit easier, but I'll show you how it all comes together. I'll show you that technique too in just a minute, which you're smart people, y'all know how all this works. So I'm going to get a scrap piece of something, and I would like, yep, I like that. So I'm going to get my double-sided tape, and right where you can start seeing at that angle, we're going to come up and make sure that that's all covered. Okay. Even got some on my desktop. There we go. And then I'm going to come all the way up so that you can make sure just to see your sunbursts and not that base cardstock. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it over. This is my favorite part, y'all. I'm going to turn it over, and with my sticky scissors, I'm going to trim off all of this excess down to the base journal card here. Okay. So all the way around the edges. And then you can keep any of the longer ones maybe if you wanted to, but I give you permission. It's so tiny. Throw it away. Alright, so here we go. Look at that journal card. I love this. I love it. I'm going to ink the edges. And if you want to round your corners, go for it. And then I'm going to dirty up the book page a little bit. And then my scraps up here too. I I love that. And then you can add something here. You can put on some kind of, oh, look at here. Okay, I like that. And then the little flutterby too goes with it. So this is just some stuff that's on the edge of my desk over here that I had cut in a previous video. This is also a flutterby from Miss Julie over at Camellia Crafts Designs, and I have her flutterby link that is in her Buy Me a Coffee website, on her Buy Me a Coffee website. I'll get the correct words out in a moment. I have that linked in my description of my videos now. It is under the Shop with My Friends header in my description. So I have some friends stuffs listed there for your shopping convenience. I find links, I find the great shops, I find the great stuff, the digitals and all that kind of stuff. And I link it for you. So I do all the hard work. I find all the peoples and then I'll let y'all know about it. I really like that. So I think I might trim up that fern just a little bit more just to get me some more little angles and stuff. And then ink both of them. And this is just a stamped image of a fern. That stamp set is from Coco Rosa. I've mentioned them quite a bit lately on my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm going to, even though this is copy paper and you're going to be able to see all of that glue once I put it down, just for convenience sake, I'm going to put this down with liquid glue. And then my little flutterby too. I like that title there, so I'm moving my flutterby around so I can see all of that. Now that is a pretty card to use in a journal. And you can ink that up really well, put you some writing lines on there if you wanted to. I love this, y'all. So with this one, I used just a circle punch and punched out a little piece there and added a Tracy Fox label. And this one also has a Tracy Fox label and a flutterby from Julie. I've got a little point trying to come up here, so I'm going to glue that down a little better. There we go. And I don't think this one needs any speckles. That one's good. I like that one. I like how that one turned out. I love putting the book page at the bottom of it. That was very pretty. Love that. Okay, so with this one, this is not a square one, so we're going to start, I like this piece of scrap right here. We're going to start in the middle. We're going to do it like this one. I'm going to start, have the sunburst going this way. So what I'm going to do is just put my glue down. This is dangerous. I'm going to put the glue down and then I'm just going to pick my pieces and go with it. I'm not going to figure out what pieces I want where first. I'm just going to put them down and we're going to see how it looks. So I really like that one. So let's add that one to the middle there. And let's do, ooh, that one's shorter, so it's going to have to wait a minute. Okay, let's do this one. That's the one thing you just have to make sure of, that it is long enough. I'll wipe all of that up in just a minute. To cover your base. So you got to cover your bases, y'all. That's what I'm saying. You have to cover your bases. Here's another longer one. And I'm just going to put that, butt it right up against the other one and not overlap. And you will get glue on yourself, so just a heads up. That one's still not long enough. So let's go with this piece of green over here. Ooh, I like that. And maybe some black and white rose over here, and then add this brown piece down here. And that one's going to be good because it's covering up everything on that one side. So I don't have to add any more on that side. The skinnier your pieces are, the more pieces you will get on your base. So see, that wide piece and that wide piece covered up more territory, so you don't have to use as much. And then maybe this green piece here, and see, we've got a point on this end, a straight end on this end, but it doesn't matter because we're at the end of this. I'm just going to come down where it's the skinniest and where it will still work. We're going to pull up our base, wipe up all of that stinking glue that got off of our base. We're going to wipe over on our base just to make sure everything is stuck down well. Then we're going to come around and trim off all of our excess. And there is that one, pretty. I'm going to ink my edges, and then we're going to add something there at the top. Now you don't have to. I've had quite a few people lately on my collage videos. I love your collage. I love what you do with your collage, but then you cover it up. I don't get that. Why do you cover it up? Well, I mean, I like when there's a little bit more to something than just this. I like a little bit of decoration. I don't like to decorate per se, but I think that this is a little too plain, so I think it needs something else. But I do like the look of decoration. So that is why. Look at that. That's pretty. And let's see, maybe let's cut a circle out of something. So maybe I can get let's do a little piece of something back behind this so I can get a good circle cut out of this book page. I tried y'all's trick. There, I did it. Okay, and we can save that circle for something else. Okay, and add that there. We're going to make sure, after we ink, I'm just going to go all the way around, but we're going to make sure that the corner is covered up. And if we want our wording straight, we need to do that now. Okay. And I'm just going to put glue down on the space that I want covered. And then we're just going to make sure that that corner is not seen once we get our book page on how we want it. Okay, so you can't see the corner just looking at it. Okay, and then I think that would be cute with that little leaf there. So while that's drying, I'll ink this up a little bit. Nice fall decorations for our journals. And this is just on some copy paper, so you will be able to see the liquid glue through it, but for time's sake, just going to add that on. And then maybe even add on a little word label of some kind. Let's do a white one. let's see. It's got a short something something. Oh, look at that one. You are enough. I like that. Okay, added that on. I'm going to cut the excess of my book page off. Okay, and then ink those edges that just got cut. And look at there. We've got a nice background. You can dirty that up some. I see a little bit of an edge of something right there that I need to trim up. And then ink up the back side and even add writing lines on it, journaling lines on it if you want to. And I've got a little speckle of something, but I'm okay with that. Even if I did more little speckles here and there, and maybe some little doodles. So you can make anything writable. Just because it had that one pin mark in the middle doesn't mean that you can't make a writing surface out of it. So don't throw away your stuff. I'm the world's worst at keeping everything. So there is how you do the sun rays from the corner, like I did here on this one, and all that glue will dry, and you'll get a little bit of warping, but it's really easy to manipulate if you use a piece of cardstock as your backer. So let's do one with some rounded corners. Do a larger one. This one's a big one, and it's not square either, so we're going to need some of our longer ones, and let's try to go almost all the way around. I might not be able to go like completely around, but let's do something like this. So I'm going to, since this is a bigger surface, I'm going to move these cards over so I can get more in the middle for you. I'm going to do just a little bit of gluing on one corner and make my sugar bell bottle cooperate. That is another operator error. That's me not putting the lid all the way down whenever I leave my craft room. Okay, that's my first piece, and second piece, and just keep on going around. Alright, my last couple of pieces going on this one. I just kind of sped that up for y'all because, I mean, you know how to put paper on a base. I'm just showing you the end result. Let's do a little bit wider of a piece here. Another piece of that green will work. And then our sticky scissors and cut off all of our excess. Y'all, this uses up lots of scraps. I love, love, love this project. And I love that you can use up scraps. I mean, some of this is a lot smaller scraps than what I have told myself in the past that I'm going to keep. But then some of it was square pieces like you saw me cut in the beginning. But yeah, some of this was little bitty skinny strips of scrap that I should have thrown away. But now look, because I didn't, they are getting a new life in a new project. Now, all of this that come off of that is just little bitty giblets. So, permission granted, throw it in the garbage. Okay? Look at this one. This one is pretty. Okay, now look, we've got a missing space right there. Now, how in the world I missed that, I have no clue. But we're going to cut a circle out of, let's just cut it out of book page. We got book page right here. Let's just cut it out of book page. I'm going to get me a piece of cardstock back behind here so that my punch will work with me. Okay. Sometimes my punch does not like book page. Oh, that's pretty. I like that one. So, let's ink all the way around and glue on. Make sure that we cover up what we need to. Okay, and then I've got this little pot of flowers, piece of ephemera. I'm going to trim off the extra bit of that circle, and then we're going to put our little flower pot down, and then I'm going to pick out a Tracy Fox label to put underneath, and I think I'm going to round the corners of this one. Oh, I like that one. Now this one did take the longest, but look, it has the most pieces of all of these. So let's find a little Tracy Fox. These are the more random numbers from Tracy Fox Love Junk Journals on Etsy. Find a little one. I don't want to cover up too much, but I want it to be a little bit longer. So let's try for this one. Okay, and then ink this one up and add it on underneath my little pot of flowers. I think I will pull my pot up and over the top of that. Yep, I like that look. So there we've got that, and then I'm going to, it probably will work a lot better if you wait until you're perfectly dry before you start rounding corners, but it's working all right as is. And then ink my edges. I also did this from the side technique on the biggest base that I've used so far, so there's that too. So it was really good that I sped that up some. Okay, ink all of the edges, and then do a little bit of dirtying up here and there. So there is another one finished. I really like that one. There's a lot going on with that one, ain't it? Okay, I think I want to do one more like this with the book page at the bottom. So let's do, that was a square one. Let's see if we can do a rectangle one like that. And we can probably utilize some of these shorter scraps too. So let's find middle. So this is a 1, 2, 3 inch. I think this is 3 by 5. So let's go 1.5. About there is middle. And let's start adding on. Now I'm going to do my glue from right below middle and then up. So we're going to have a lot of little short ones, long and short, probably. So let's start, that would be upside down, so let's not do that. That one would be upside down too. Ooh, let's start with this one. Okay, there, and then maybe a music right beside, and then maybe this wild floral one on the other side, purple over here, and making sure not to overlap them, and a little skinny green one over here. Let's see. Even though that is going to be upside down, I still want to use it. That one's cute. It looks better right there at an angle instead of straight up and down though. Okay, and then maybe this one over here. And the reason I like putting that glue all the way down, because, you know, if I wasn't paying attention, I would say, okay, I'm done because I've covered up those two corners. But we want a straight edge on the bottom, so you need to keep going. Okay, do this little blue piece right there. And then I might do just a little bit more glue and do a little piece right there, so that we've got it all covered all the way across the middle. So let's go down a little bit on this side too. We've got, looks like dandelion on this little piece. We'll butt that up against there, even though it's about the same color. And then let's cut this one and do it there. Okay, and we make sure that it's all covered and taken care of all the way to middle. And then I'm going to cut off some of these tails that we don't need. Okay, and then let's glue down all the existing tails. There we go. And let's add some book page. Ooh, I like that. Let's get us a straight edge going on the top here because I cut out that other circle, so having to deal with not having a straight edge, and I didn't go all the way up. There we go. Now I've got a straight edge, and let's put that one over to the side so y'all can see all of this. And I'm going to put that on just like that. I'm going to go across and down. And you're going to see all of the little, do I want to do it that way or that way? I think I want to do it this way. You're going to get to see all of that liquid glue on the back of my book page. And then I'm not too concerned about it being straight all the way. I'm going to turn it over and cut off all of this excess, and try not to cut off too much or cut through too much of my book page, because I can use the rest of that. That'll go in my little scrap pile. Okay, and I think I'm going to round my corners. And like I said, this works a lot better when you let it dry all the way, but I think we'll be okay. All right, I like that. I like how that one looks. And let's ink our edges. And then dirty it up in places, just because I like that grungy look. Very, very cute. Okay, so we've got some wording that I would like to cover up here. I should have looked at that before I used whichever side, huh? Let's say about a circle added on here. Oh, I like that side better. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. And then maybe another butterfly of some kind. Let's look in our ephemera holder and see what kind of little flying insect we might have. There's all my butterflies, but let's look at this other stuff we got too. Ooh, that little flower's pretty. I like that. That one's too big. Ooh, there's a blue flower. Let's look at how that would be. Ooh, I like that. Pretty. Let's do that and that. And then a little word label of some kind. I've got that sheet of labels that I made myself that I stamped, and then I used my old typewriter and typed out words inside the stamped labels. So this one says believe. Ooh, I really like how that looks. And then I've got some epoxy dots that I thought I would use one of these darker blue ones on here to kind of bring that out too. So I'm going to get this glued down. I really like how that looks. Like this. I've already inked all the edges and got them how I want them. Blue little flower, and then this little tan looking flower, and then my little Believe label to go at the bottom. Like that. And then let's see here, maybe this size little blue. Oh yeah, I like that, right at the corner here and off the side a little bit. I'm a stickler about placement of embellishments, if y'all hadn't already figured out. Those that have been with me for a long time, if you hadn't figured that out by now. I sit and ponder over placement entirely too much. Ooh, I like that. That may be my favorite one so far, and it didn't have a butterfly on it. Does it? No butterfly? Nope, no butterfly. No butterfly anywhere. And it was all scraps. Yay. I love that. Okay, I'm putting the lid on all the way, y'all. Now, let's get this. I've got glue from the lid sitting here. Found a little piece of lace on my desk that would go very pretty on that one. I like that. Anyway, here are the cards that I got finished, and like I said, we can use these for all kinds of different things, but I'm really liking them as journal cards in my journals. So yeah, I like how these turned out, and I like bringing up older techniques that maybe we forgot about or haven't used in a long time, or tools that we haven't used in a long time. I like getting all of that out for Scrapbusters and utilizing that and, you know, repurposing stuff. So if y'all make some Sunburst technique journal cards, be sure to use the hashtag #Scrapbusters so that I can find you and leave you some love. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Love ya. Bye.